Just 24 hours before the Beijing massacre happened, demonstrators had successfully turned back huge contingents of soldiers from Tiananmen Square, men they considered comrades. They left to rounds of applause. The armoured columns moved to the outskirts of Beijing, and for a while it was thought the protesters had won yet again. Tracer shells lit up the night sky on the outskirts of the city. News of the military intervention spread, and the anger of the demonstrators grew. As the shooting spree took hold in parts of Tiananmen Square, some demonstrators defied the machine guns. This armoured personnel carrier was captured and set upon by the crowd, who frantically tried to break inside using nothing more than sticks and stones. Chaos reigned as vehicles were hijacked and set alight. For a while, it seemed there was little the emergency services could do. Meanwhile, the crowd had successfully broken into the armoured car, and a soldier was led away by demonstrators under a hail of blows from their makeshift weapons. To celebrate this small victory, students from Beijing University unleashed volleys of shots from the armoured car's gun. Elsewhere, hundreds of troops lined up in ranks to gain control of the masses. They opened fire, apparently without discrimination. Tiananmen, the center of Chinese communism for 40 years since Mao Zedong proclaimed the People's Republic there, echoed to the sound of gunfire as troops from the so-called army that loves the people opened fire on their countrymen and women. Following scenes like this, hardline Premier Li Peng was called a murderer, and some witnesses likened him to Hitler. In the midst of it all, medics set up rough-and-ready treatment centres, doing what they could to help those cut down in the massacre. Victims were patched up and rushed to hospitals in fleets of ambulances, pedal carts, and even buses. Dawn, and the armoured personnel carriers were backed up by the entire might of the People's Army as tanks roll into Tiananmen Square. As daylight came, it became apparent the army had won the upper hand, and demonstrators took whatever cover they could. Witnesses described troops firing indiscriminately at knots of people or seizing civilians at random and beating them in public. The devastation of the previous night soon became apparent. Still, the soldiers flooded into the square, gunshots ringing out. Many protesters still fled for their lives, even after hours of carnage. For hundreds, though, it was a futile attempt, mown down by the People's Army, whose guns, until now, they had successfully kept silent. John Davis, Sky News.